Welcome to Bloody Flicks. I'm your host, Pete.
I'm Kyle, and this is the Stay Bloody podcast.
Episode 3, Hellraiser. So bad, but so good. Or so good, so bad, however you want to say it. The good, the bad, and the...
Crappy.
Yeah, the ugly, the crappy, but so good. I don't know. So we decided we would talk about this podcast for a while, about doing it just because we're Hellraiser fans, but it's not the best series. It's not Halloween. It's not Friday 13th. It's not A Nightmare on Elm Street. It could have been better. It should be at the top. It should be closer to the top. It could have took Nightmare on Elm Street easily, but there's some flaws in it. And my favorite character is Pinhead over Michael Myers, over Jason Voorhees, over even Freddy Krueger. I'm a Pinhead fan, but man, they make him so good but so bad at the same time, and we'll explain to everybody what that means. But before we get there, we just went to 2 conventions.
I went to 2 conventions.
You went to 2 conventions.
You went to one of them.
Yeah, so we went to Motor City Legacy.
And that was
the Motor City Nightmares.
Yeah, then that was a couple weeks ago.
They got to quit calling everything Motor. I know it's Detroit, but stop calling everything Motor City. Come up with another name.
Well, actually, Motor City Nightmares came first because I think
they've been around longer.
14th year, so yeah.
Legacy was the first one, I believe, and that was pretty good.
Yeah,
it's a 7-hour drive for us by the time we stop, and at least once, and we do it in a day trip. They're back. Everybody thinks we're crazy, including my wife. She thinks we're nuts. Does your wife think you're psycho about when you do stuff like that?
Actually, my wife, I don't think she cares.
She's like, he's out of the house.
Yeah, he's out of the house.
But so it's not a bad drive. We do it in one day, and then that was a lot of good people there. I finally got to meet my guy Gage, Pet Cemetery, Miko Hughes, and also from Kindergarten Cop. I've been dying to get his autograph. And what did I say if I ever met him? What would I have him sign?
Well, you got your kite.
A red kite from the movie, or as close to it as I could get it, or a semi, at the front of a semi, which we could not find that we could actually transport and carry. But I found the kite. And surprisingly, he said that was the first kite he's ever signed.
And I find that kind of hard to believe.
And that you said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I think that's what you said. The F word came out in your mouth. You're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, I'm like, all the things, thousands of things he's had to sign. No one's ever brought a kite.
Like, how did you not bring a kite? Because I wanted to do the kite because that's how he before he gets killed, Gage chases the kite, and then I want to get a radiator or the front of a semi because that's how he gets killed, and then the scalpel after. But that's just.
But he
way
did
too
say
much.
He signed a lot of scalpels, so
yeah, there's a lot. Of
you would have thought someone would run a kite.
So I'm the first kite that he's ever signed, which is pretty cool. I mean, he's a pretty cool guy. Kind of quiet though. He doesn't allow you to tag him in social media. He's very private or appears away because you cannot tag his name or message him on social media, which I respect that. But and he was nice. He was just kind of like not talkative really. I kind of was hoping more talkative or whatever. But the picture I got was the Gage holding the scalpel from Pet Cemetery. But he already wrote "not fair" on the kite, so I needed another tagline for the picture. So since Kindergarten Cop has one of the most famous lines ever, "Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina." And if you don't know, Miko is also in that movie, and he's a little boy that says, "Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina." He's like, "Thanks for the tip." I had him put that line on the picture. And you seen the picture with him holding the scalpel with that mean face with that line right above it? Freaking hilarious. It is freaking hilarious. It's like he said that in the movie, which he did not, but so good. And you went after your
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. You were excited about that. You were pumped.
Yeah, those Scott Reiniger and Galen Ross were the last 2 main cast members that I needed on my poster, besides David Emge, which I probably won't ever get him because he doesn't do conventions.
Is he the one in the home?
Yeah, he's in a home. So, but who knows? Maybe someday.
I told you how we could do that. We'll drive to that home that he's in. We'll be his grandkids. We'll bring him some cookies. You want that autograph? I said we go get it. Let's try it. That'd be something to videotape. That'd be something to video and put it on YouTube, our quest to get that autograph.
And then we can have the restraining order framed and hung on the wall, too.
It's okay. We'll have his autograph.
It'd be like Sheldon on Big Bang.
Sneaking into the Skywalker Ranch.
Here,
That episode was just on yesterday.
Hey, I'm your long-lost grandson. Here, can you sign my poster?
Or was it Stan Lee when he, why don't you just come in my house?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. He just walks the house. But so you got the two you wanted.
Yep.
I finally got to meet Ken Foray. Joe Grizzly.
I was waiting to see if you knew how to say his last name.
I call him Forsey
Oh,
all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, because
Foray.
it's Foray. And I guess, I said it right that time because we're on a podcast. But I call him Forsey for some reason. But yeah, Foray. Joe Grizzly, you met him in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And I chose not to because I knew we'd be at this one. And so you went away. You were looking at something. So he had one Joe Grizzly picture from Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Seems like that was the only picture he had for Halloween stuff.
Yeah,
he had
that's it.
quite a few Dawn of the Dead, and then there was a few from the Devil's Rejects. But yeah, I didn't see any other ones from
You
Halloween.
got Pete from Dawn of the Dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was a great character. That's probably one of my favorite characters. I might even like him a little more than Tony Todd. But I like that movie better than Dawn of the Dead, but I like Pete's character. So I almost went with both. Then I had to remind myself to stop buying 2 or 3 of every autograph because it's stupid. So as you come up, we're talking about Joe Grizzly, and I was talking to him about, you saw him on the escalators in Pennsylvania, and he was coming down. You said, "Hey, Ken," and I kind of scolded you and like, "Why did you not say, hey, look, it's Joe Grizzly, bitch?" And you're like, "I would never say that to him." And I'm like, "Why not? It's Joe Grizzly." Well, we were talking about it, and you came up, and what'd you say? Something like, "Well, I wouldn't say that. That's like disrespectful," or something like that. And he's like, and he leans back and goes, "Why not? Everybody knows that line." He goes, "I invented it." And the look on my face was like, damn, he owned it. He owned it.
And then on your picture, he writes, "I'm fucking Joe Grizzly."
Yeah, so we were talking because I asked him questions. So what did I ask? Oh, I asked him in real life, in a real fight between him and Tyler Mane, who played Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween, who would win that fight? And in a deep voice, he said, "Who do you think?" And I went, "You." I think Tyler Mane would probably take it, but I don't know. It'd be a good fight. So then I tried to I'm talking to Kid about how I wanted to start a fight between Tyler Mane and Kevin Nash because they're both the same height, pretty much close to the same height, if not the same height. I'm not sure. Because I think Tyler Mane said he was 6'7". Ken said he was like 6'10". Or no, he's talking about that 7'7".
Yeah, or something.
7'7". And Ken said he was taller than that. And I can't remember. Tyler Mane told me how tall he was in Atlanta, and I can't remember. I think it's 7'7". All I know is everybody's taller than me. So at that point,
You're like, well,
it's like a foot doesn't matter when you're as short as I am. And so I told him I want to start a fight. He looked at me crazy. I'm like, well, that'd be funny. 2 big titans going at it like that. And that's when I think I asked him the question, and the response was just like, I'm going to beat down by Joe Grizzly. And that's when he signed. This way he's like, "This one's special for you." And he put, "I'm Joe Grizzly," put the line that was, "You're damn right, I'm Joe Grizzly." So that's kind of cool. But his pictures, when you take a picture of Ken, he's serious. He doesn't smile.
yeah, in my picture with him, he's got a serious look on his face. In fact, every picture I've seen, he's always has a serious look on his face.
There was 3 pictures taken that you took. On one picture on my phone, he's actually got a little smirk of a smile. And that's it. So I was like, oh my God, he's almost smiling, because it's natural to smile.
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy, but I think he just has to look like he wants to maintain that badass look. I don't know. I wouldn't mess with him, but I don't know. Who's that other guy you got from blanking out? The guy that you bought that had the check stubs.
Oh, John Russo,
John Russo, that's it.
one of the writers of Night of the Living Dead. He was trying so hard to sell me that ball cap that he had from some movie he directed.
He was online selling some more shit. He was just on the page selling extra shit. Did you see that on Facebook?
Yeah, like some books and stuff. It's like, dude, okay.
And you were going to ask him a question that you ended up not asking because I was like, that's wrong. But was it his? You were going to ask him if his version of would have been better than.
No, I asked him, I said, why didn't your version of Return of the Living Dead not get made? Because he's the one that actually wrote the original screenplay for Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, his was different.
Which was different, was more of a serious movie and would have been like a direct sequel to Night of the Living Dead. But instead, they made it the horror comedy that, we have now. So, yeah, I was just curious why his version never got made.
I'm glad you didn't ask that question. Because the way you told me you were going to ask it, I was like, man, that's kind of.
Because
But you want to know as a fan.
Yeah, I was like, I like his version of Return of the Living Dead. I've read it. It's a book. He made it into a book, and it is. It's like a direct sequel to Night of the Living Dead. I like that version. Not that I don't like the version we got, but
it'd be nice to have both versions.
Yeah,
they should have had like a disc with both versions. Because I don't really think Return of the Living Dead is a comedy anyway. I mean, I guess it leans that way, but
like his version, they never talked, and it was like, Night of the Living Dead. So, but
and you bought more stuff.
Yeah, I bought more stuff.
You can't resist.
Yeah,
I almost bought a check stub with an autograph, but I'm like, yeah, I already spent enough money.
And then the next week was Flashback Weekend that you couldn't go to.
So for a year, we're planning for Flashback Weekend, the biggest probably convention of the year. Probably Horror Hound was probably bigger because the cast of Scream, the movie just came out. But for us, Flashback, Robert Englund, I paid to get a photo with him. So it was like $170 after tax and all the fees and stuff. Catherine Mary Stewart, Night of the Comet, one of my favorite movies. I met Kelly Maroney, so that was the other one. Revenge of the Nerds guys. You had your girl there from Return of the Living Dead 3.
And then there was most of the, cast from Nightmare, like 4 and 5. There was a bunch. It was. If you were a Nightmare on Elm Street fan, this convention was for you because it was mostly, Nightmare, cast, but.
Well, Heather Langenkamp, which we both didn't have Heather Langenkamp.
Yeah.
You had Robert Englund's autograph.
Yep.
And you, your girl from Return of the Living Dead 3.
Yeah, she was also in Spawn.
And, you went a little haywire with her.
Well, my wife wanted an autograph, too, so I'm like, okay.
So you got 3.
Yeah, because she wanted from CSI because she was in CSI. And then I paid for the Return of the Living Dead picture, and then I'm standing there, and I'm like, I kind of want something from Spawn, too. So there was a picture from Spawn, so I got that one, too.
I don't blame you because that's your girl, so.
Yeah. And then, you couldn't go because you got COVID.
Yeah, and that's what, so a year we're planning this, and actually we were going to go on Sunday because we have to plan Sundays because of our work schedule. We have to assume we're working Saturdays at our job. So Saturday, we realized, we're off that Saturday because of something going on. So we had Saturday off. Well, it's too late. We already planned, and I bought the ticket for Robert Englund on Sunday. Well, C2E2 was also pretty much right across the street or right down the street or something like that.
Yeah, the comic book convention.
And Rosario Dawson was going to be there, and a few other, Lando Calrissian was going to be there, Billy D. Williams, and a few others. So actually, and The Undertaker and a few other wrestlers. So my wife said she would go to that one, which is rare that my wife will actually go to a convention. So I was going to go to C2E2 Saturday, come home, and then go back to Chicago for Flashback. And then, of course, I ended up getting sick about Wednesday. So, and the thought did cross my mind to go anyway, but I did not want to get sick. I did not want to be accountable to hear on social media that Robert Englund has respiratory issues in the hospital because he had COVID and that I could have been responsible. So I decided not to go and stay home.
And then there was an anime convention in the same hotel as Flashback. So you're seeing all these girls dressed around.
Well, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, yeah. There was an anime convention going on, and we kept seeing all these girls dressed up like, from anime. I
just don't understand anime.
I was like, what is going on? Like, where's all the horror people at?
Jeez. Was there a lot of people dressed up for Flashback? Because everybody talked about Flashback all year. Flashback was the biggest talked about convention that I've seen on social media.
if there was people dressed up, they must have went like Friday and Saturday, because Sunday there was hard. I don't think I really seen anybody dressed up.
That's crazy because it talked about. I mean, everybody was talking about flashback, and I'm like, okay, Robert Englund, I get it. So hopefully we can go to a Scarefest in Kentucky in October and try again to get Robert Englund a picture with him. Since, well, you got his picture because I had to transfer the tickets because they're non-refundable.
Yeah,
and I'm not losing tickets, so I'm like, I just sent them to you, and at least someone got a picture with them. But yeah, and that was quick. Here, take a picture, smile, go, move on.
yeah, about 10 seconds.
Thanks for your money, go.
Yep.
So yeah, but I think I would do it for him, but I don't know, because he's like Bruce Campbell. He does not take pictures at the table. I'm curious though, if I do go to Horror Hound in Cincinnati to see if Bruce Campbell takes pictures at his table. I'm gonna assume he does not, because he doesn't get around as the others, and he's so popular. Because I found out the hard way in Kentucky that last year that he does not do pictures at the table. So that was my first experience about that. So you know how I feel about that. We talked about it before. But he did wink at me, so.
Yeah, after you told me that, I was like, I don't know if I even want to waste my time trying to get his autograph.
I would.
I in person, I'd just go buy it online.
That's probably what I do to Robert Englund. I'll probably just buy Robert Englund's online and then try to get the photo with him again. But I don't know. That's 2 photos I bought. Robert Englund, I got sick. And then Captain Kirk.
Yeah, because you're
It's St. Louis, and then my email gets locked up, and they can't verify that it's me, so I can't get the ticket to get Captain Kirk's autograph, William Shatner. And so we said, fuck it, and we went, instead of going to St. Louis,
we went to Chicago.
And actually we had a good time.
Yeah.
So, because that's where we hung out with Peter Dante for a little bit, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a good conventions, and other than that, we're done for a while.
Yeah, because unfortunately our local convention that's supposed to happen next month got canceled. Actually, I think I realized why it's canceled.
He's sick.
Well, see, I didn't like personally see like what was going on, but the way people were commenting on Facebook about it being canceled, I kind of figured it out that the guy, the promoter of it,
yeah,
I guess
not doing well.
He got sick or something's going on.
He's got some stuff going on,
some health issues, and they decided to cancel this year, which is kind of a bummer. But
I get it because the lineup was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest.
He had the guy from Walking Dead, which was in Detroit.
Which we just seen.
And I said, I'm not going to get his autograph in Detroit because I'm going to see him in our hometown.
And well, then Miko Hughes was supposed to be there
and
too.
Miko, which I'm glad I got his autograph. See, that's why we always say get autographs when you can get them, because you never know, they might cancel. So I could have not got Miko's and then waited till our home one, and then he would have canceled, because we could have seen him in Indianapolis too. Mm-hmm. But we decided not to go because we had everybody there but 3. So you have to really get autographs when you got a chance. But other than that, Miko was a big draw. But
yeah,
the director of the Terrifier, are.
But they're like at every convention, so
yeah, we've seen.
Yeah,
I've seen him. We've seen him 3 times already. Yeah. So it's kind of like Kane Hodder. He's everywhere. But yeah, other than that, it was good, not great. I think last year's was better, but he didn't add anybody, and now we know why, because he just was this health issue. So, which is too bad, because now we don't have a local one. I think the nearest one is Ottumwa, Iowa, and that's a really small one. So
and that's in October.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Hellraiser. Do you like the Hellraiser series? I mean, yes and no.
I like out of the first 4, the ones that actually came out.
We're only talking the first 4 today.
Yeah, we're only talking about the first 4. There's a few other ones that'll probably get some honorable mentions because they kind of tie into the whole Hellraiser, franchise that are kind of important. But I mean, yeah, I like the Hellraiser movies, for the most part. I like even some of the ones that are like direct to video. They have a interesting premise, but they're just like, they're movies that weren't made as Hellraiser movies, and they just kind of threw Pinhead in there, just cause. But yeah, I like the Hellraiser franchise for the most part.
I think they could have been up there, top 4 franchises at least. When you watch the first one, it's cool. It's not like great or wow, not great kills or anything. Different stuff. Is when they take, split the, pull the skin apart and stuff, and the characters are cool. Pinhead, Chatter, and Butterball, and Female Cenobite, which is a terrible freaking name. Barbie, I wish I would have gave you a different name because Barbara Wilde, who played Female Cenobite, but a terrible name, Female Cenobite. Yeah, we know she's a female. We get it. Just could have gave her a cool name.
Well, he wasn't called Pinhead till
that's true. We the fans made that.
Yeah.
So, my favorite one's Bloodline, which a lot of people don't like that one as much, but I love how they made the box and stuff. The second one was my favorite, but every time I watch the end of it, I get irritated. But we'll start with the first one. First one came out, and it's good. You have cool characters. It's creepy. It's dark. It's kind of slow, but more. I don't know. They do the more creepy, methodical, like let your mind work a little bit. Then they throw in some visuals. I'm like Franco the Terror's tear him apart, which is pretty cool. And Pinhead right off the bat is badass creepy. I mean, you saw Pinhead the first time. What'd you think? Your eyes were drawn to him. He's the baddest. The guy's got nails in his head.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Which one was that from? That guy's got freaking nails in his head. Is that the third one?
Yeah.
Someone says that, yeah.
It's like, I was a teenager when I seen this. My cousin showed it to me. I think just when Frank comes back to life from the ground, I think was the first thing. Like, oh crap. That was the whole reason why she showed it to me. She's like, you got to check out this part. And then I get to that part and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, he's in the attic and he comes back.
And he comes back. I was like, okay. And then, Pinhead shows up and it's like, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's some cool twist because Julia obviously had an affair with her brother, Frank.
Yep.
I'm Frank, your brother. And because when they're in the house and Christy's dad was like, Frank's been here, and Julia's like, she had instant orgasm. You can see her just kind of, oh. I mean, she must have been loved. She helped his bloody corpse kill people. So, but it was cool. And then, okay, they have the box. And so we were talking about this. You have a demon who can control chains, right? We're like, how did he learn that? Is he like Spider-Man going, go chain, flipping his hands around, like trying to practice like flicking chains, like spider webs or something, like go chain, activate chain. So you can flick these chains around, but then Kirsty gets the box at the end, and they can't just shoot a chain at her and kill her and take the box. I just like, okay, because in these movies, if they have possession of the box, they can't take it. That has to be willingly given up.
Yeah.
Okay. But yet when you open the box, you're touching it and it could kill you. Doesn't make any sense. You can't go by the comics or the book. I'm talking if you watch the movie and you're trying to understand just by watching the movie, it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of like half and half or a little bit of both.
Well, it's because you're desiring something like pleasure and pain.
That's where you get killed.
That's what the box is, and that's what it gives you. But if you're just have the box and you're not thinking about that, then yeah, they can't touch. Because in Hellraiser 3, the main girl, she didn't open it, and she had the box in her hand. And remember, that was when they said he can't just take it from you. You have to give it to him.
But in the second one, the puzzle box girl, the girl is good at puzzles.
But see, she didn't open it herself. She opened it, but it wasn't her will to open it. It was Shenard's.
It wasn't her desire.
Yeah, so
we were
that's
brought
why.
to by desire.
Yeah, that's why they didn't kill her.
It's weird. I think they just got too confused. I think they tried to make it too. They should have simplified that part of it. Because I'm sorry, if you're holding the box and like the female Cenobite in the first one's kind of walking Chrissy's backwards up the stairs. And she's like, and she's like, we got such size to show you. And she's got her hook and she's scraping the wall. Why didn't she just slice her throat or something? I mean, they could have so many opportunities to kill you so easily. You can flick a chain out of nowhere and kill people because that's how he stopped Frank. Frank went after Christy and then he shot, the chains at him and with the fish hooks and held him back. It just doesn't make any sense. Like that, there's like something missing there. They could have been more direct about that aspect because it gets blurred in a few episodes. There's some times where you got the box and they're running for their life. Like if you can't be touched like this, look at me, haha! I got the box, you can't touch me. Like on the third one, which is your favorite one. I can't believe that's your favorite one, but the third one, she's standing with the box, and it's like no one can touch her. Oh, she could be burned with cigarettes. The cigarette chick burned her a few times, but stupid movie. I just like those Cenobites are so bad. But the first one, okay, so the first one you get it, okay? It's a good movie. Not great, but it's good, really good. Then the second one comes out. The second one I saw at a theater. I lived in Ohio, in a town in Ohio, and a bunch of our friends went to see that, and it was a theater that had one screen, and that's it. So we went to this little old-fashioned diner, got a basket of fries because you can only afford a few dollars when you're a teenager in high school, and went and saw the movie, and it was good. And the whole thing was good until they made Dr. Chenard overpowered and stronger than Pinhead. Now, at the time, you're like, he's cool. That's a badass character. I mean, except for the big penis thing stuck in his head. When you really look at that now and back, it's like a giant penis stuck in his head. But the whole premise from when he brings the body from on Julia's mattress, and the guy cutting himself was the guy that played Bloody Frank in the first one. He was the same guy. Mm-hmm. And then he cut himself, which is really a gross scene. That made me scream when I was like this. Oh, I think I covered my eyes when I was at the theater. Like, what the hell? Then he brings Julia back, and he's turned on. I was like, hey, baby, I like your blood.
You know, like
he earned his Red Wings.
Yeah. Hellraiser 2, I don't know what it is.
It's great till the end.
For some reason, out of the first four, this one would be like dead last in my ranking, and I don't know why. It's just I don't.
Is it because watching it now when you're older, or is it because it's different when you watch it the first time? I think it's cool when you watch it the first time. The more you watch it when you're older, the dumber it gets.
I don't know.
Because it was so good originally.
You know, I don't know. It's just it's one of those movies where I don't find it like that interesting. I don't, even when the first time I watched it, I was like, compared to the first one, it's like, okay. Maybe it's because, like you don't really see like Pinhead in that till like more towards the end of the movie, because it's more kind of, like Julia's like story.
You see him in bits and pieces in the labyrinth.
You kind of see him, because like right off the bat in the first Hellraiser movie, you see him, so it's like, okay. And then in Hellraiser 2, you don't really see him till towards the end. I don't know. It's just for some reason that movie, I just don't. I wouldn't say it's boring. It doesn't like keep my interest. I'll probably, not that I don't hate it. It's just one of them ones where I wouldn't rank it high on my list. Like
to me, the third one's stupid, but at least it had a direction. The second one starts off so good until they make Dr. Chenard too powerful. They made him more powerful than Pinhead, which is fine. You expect a good battle, so I loved it. I thought it was my favorite. It was my favorite one until a month or so ago. I watched it again, and the more I watch it, the more I hate the ending. So we have two characters, the two females, and then they're running through the labyrinth. And then Pinhead stops them, and they run to Pinhead. So Pinhead, instead of killing them there, he's like, go, we have eternity to, and he lets them go run through the labyrinth, I'm like, just kill him there. It's like, I know it's a movie, you can't do that, but it's just like, I'm sorry, but have you ever been to House of Mirrors at a fair? Okay, you get lost in that motherfucker. You're telling me that Kirsty could find her way through a labyrinth? And they brought Frank back in that one, and his hell was people having sex. He started a thing for Kirsty, so we knew it was a little creepy in the first one. Yeah, he gets pedophile in the second one, right? Like they made him like pedophile in the second one because like Kirsty, I'm like, you liked her all along, okay? Then you're, okay. Then you think about it, you're like, yuck. And then Julia kills him. But it's so good, except that Chenard could take these things out of his hand and shoot them like out of his hand. Like, it's just like magic stuff. I don't know why he became a super demon. Because Leviathan was Julia's god, was her god, and that's who created Chenard. Maybe because he was so evil inside or whatever, but the ending, you get to the ending, and barely any Pinhead, and the female Cenobite has one line, I think, in the whole movie. And then they get to the end, and then there's Pinhead, and you're ready, like, oh yeah, some shit's gonna go down, right? The dark room, you get the Pillar of Souls, you get the chains, and then Christy's in there, and then she starts talking about an old picture, and you were human once. I, and he's like, I remember.
And then he became a pussy.
Yeah, he remembers, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that part because you kind of remember. He gets soft side, and then Shannara comes in, and he wants the blonde. What's her name? Why am I blanking out?
Tiffany.
And he's like, and then like, oh, good, a fight, but there was no fight.
No,
there was no fight at all. He was fight. Shannara was so powerful. He literally freaking takes out all the Cenobites, who really didn't have powers anyway, except they could just take your soul from your body pretty much. But Pinhead could surely change. He shoots a couple chains, and then Shannara takes it with a little saws or whatever, and cuts a chain, and then they're all like, what the fuck? And then he just takes them. There's like no fight whatsoever. And we're at the theater going, what the fuck just happened? Like, did we miss something? So now you're thinking Shannara's the new character, right? That's what I thought the first time. Okay, you got a new badass character. So then they go to the end of the movie. Now there's no more Pinhead. He's dead. All the Cenobites are dead. Christy's still alive with Tiffany. And then Shannara's out there, and he's going to kill him. And then Christy does a cool thing. She goes and puts the skin of Julie on and comes out. And then the stupidest thing happens. He has these weapons that come out of his hands. Can cut through chain. Okay? Kill Pinhead. Kill Chatter, kill female Cenobite, kill kill everybody. He just cut through chain, and that's like heavy duty, like gauge chain. You can lift a semi with that shit. I mean, Pinhead didn't go cheap and get the plastic chain or the cheap, Walmart chain. He got the good, he got the good Home Depot chain. And so Channard's like, and then he shoots his little hand thing with the knife and misses, and it goes into the concrete walk path or whatever,
and gets stuck.
And it gets stuck. And then what happens?
Gets his head ripped off trying to pull his chains out or whatever the hell
the penis, when it comes out, that's when it looks like a penis.
Yeah.
It does. It'll come out like this. Awkward. So is that true meaning of dickhead? Because it looked like a giant penis. And it pulls his head off.
Yep.
So the whole point, it was pointless. So he has this badass character who just took out Pinhead, made Pinhead look like a puss, who has no ability to do anything at all. Like, if you saw Pinhead at the alley at that point, you're like, okay, I kick your ass. And then now Channard's dead. So the whole ending was like, what the fuck were they thinking? So good, and then just turned so bad the last 10 minutes. Why? And the more I watch it, I'm like, God, I almost want to shut up before the end. And then what did they do in the third one? They bring Pinhead back because his demonic soul was so evil it could not die. Right? His soul was so demonic and so evil it could not be buried. It could not die. That's why he was living in the Pillar of Souls. Well, if he's that fucking powerful, why in the hell did he fucking just get his ass kicked in the second movie? Like, he didn't put up a fight. I mean, he shot two chains like this. You can see it in his face. Oh shit, I'm toast.
Maybe they didn't think there was ever going to be any more besides the first two. Who knows?
I think Clive Barker was a little, like, he was drinking when he wrote the movie, and he's like, oh, it's good. And then he got drunk by the second, like the very last part. It was like started hallucinating or something. But the third one, you like the third one. The third one I'll give you is good kills. When I rewatched it after we talked about it, and I like it better now, except for the Cenobites. I will always hate the Cenobites in that movie. They're not the original, and they all suck for the most part. And they have stupid abilities. And we'll get to that. But Pinhead is evil. The plot's not really all that great. I didn't like did you like the guy that ran the young man, the other young man that ran the bar?
Oh, J.P. Monroe.
J.P. Monroe. Did you like him?
He was kind of a douchebag. But I think he was meant to be that way.
Yeah, I mean, he plays a good douchebag, but I like his character a little better now. I just don't love it, but I really hated it then. And everybody in that damn movie smokes.
Yeah.
Everybody in that fucking movie smokes.
Except Pinhead. Pinhead doesn't smoke, but
in real life he does. I think Bradley smokes in real life. There's a picture of him holding a cigarette, being the makeup on. So I assume at one time he did smoke. I'm assuming. I don't know for a fact, but everybody in that movie smokes. The reporter, the chick she saves, JP's girlfriend, JP. Also, like, holy shit.
This is the MTV version of Hellraiser.
But yeah, so it's cool. Okay, they get him in the box. I mean, that was kind of cool. Okay, he needs blood, so he could only get so close to this box where the chains can't get you. That didn't make any sense either. Like, you could shoot chains a mile away, but now you can only shoot them maybe like a foot. So I mean, you have to bring a girl in, try to get her to the box, so Pinhead could kill her and become alive or whatever. And then if it's so easy to escape from hell, the world would be taken over by now. I mean, obviously, it's easy to escape from hell. You just get a little blood, your body comes back to life. In every movie, that's pretty much what happened. A little blood, you come back to life. See what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. It's so good, but so bad at the same time. So the third one, he comes out. Now, when he comes out in the club, it kills everybody. That's pretty cool. Then again, he has the ability to take a water, freeze it into an icicle, and shove it through someone's head in the third one, in the club. Now his powers are back all of a sudden. See what I'm saying with this? Help me out here. Help me, help you, help me, help you, help me. Understand what the fuck's going on.
You know, like...
Did you ever think about that? You can shoot an ice, which is one of the cool kills that you even mentioned before that. But like, what happened?
These are those types of movies where you got to turn your brain off and not even think about how logical shit is.
But it's worse now that we review them.
I know, but you know, I still anymore. If I watch a horror movie, I just turn my brain off because there's always going to be those type of people.
No, you don't.
Well, on
because you hear something online and it drives you nuts sometimes.
Like sometimes it's like, why are you? You know, well, especially like. Here's a good example. They're talking about in the Halloween Ends that there's some tower that's they think that's going to control Michael, some signal. It's like, why are you thinking that? You know, it's like, it's just a movie.
Well, those are rumors then.
Well, you know, like some people say, well, logically they can't do that. It's just a movie. Why are you putting too much thought in it?
Okay, you can't say that because we when it's your favorite movie, you get irritated just as bad as I do. But I'm just saying, if you look back at these movies, it's like, how do you have powers? Okay, it's like Superman can fly one day, and the next day he forgets how to fly. That's pretty much Pinhead. I mean, like, okay.
You know, who knows?
Like Wonder Woman's gold lasso of truth can make you tell the truth. The next minute, it just, you know, gives you a little spanking. It doesn't do anything. How do you get Pinhead? It can now control ice. Now, the kills were good. He goes on and destroys everybody. Okay. The barbed wire bartender guy, you know. Did he have a name? The bartender one? Hey, he has a name. And then he takes JP's girl, makes her cigarette chick.
Well, the bartender, they just called him Barbie. That was his.
Oh, because he had the barbed wire on the face and stuff. And then you got the camera guy, camera head.
And then your favorite, the CD guy.
Oh, that's so stupid.
The DJ.
You like that guy?
I like the look of them. I'm not saying they're the best Cenobites,
cool.
But you know, their
his
looks
look
are cool.
Except for the female, the cigarette chick was the worst.
Which was
it's like they ran out of money. It's like they ran out of money and were like, okay, what are we gonna do with her? Make her look like the original female Cenobite. Stick a cigarette in her throat.
Yeah.
Like they ran out of money with her because they used all the money on the camera for the eye of the camera head and the CD, but the abilities. But after they leave, okay, the bar, all the blood, the killing's cool. The church scene is one of my favorite scenes. The church scene is fucking awesome, and I've told you this story before. The church scene where the church goes, "There are no such thing as demons." Then why are you a preacher? There's not heaven without hell. And if they believe in hell, then there's heaven. Okay, there's not one without the other. Okay, if you believe in the Bible. And then to hear how many times do your preachers, there's no thing as such as a demon. In every movie, can you do an exorcism? There's no demons. Well, then there's no heaven. I'm like, it's so stupid, right?
Yep.
And then the Pinhead, because Pinhead, you know, looking badass, he's like, and then when he gets to the altar, he's like, this is my body, this is my blood. Those are happy who come to my supper, which is my favorite line. We went to North Dakota, to the Little House Prairie homestead. It's in North or South Dakota, I don't remember. We're actually Laura Ingalls Wilder and her dad, and that actually lived on the prairie, was actually there. It wasn't Walnut Grove, but we went to the house they actually built and the church that Paul Engel actually helped build. So we're in this church taking pictures, and what's the first thing I do in this little church? Stand at the altar with my hands and say the line and get my picture taken like that from Hellraiser 3, which is blasphemy if you like.
And then your wife's probably thinking, yeah, what's going on?
She just thought I was stupid. My ex thought I was stupid at the time, but it's just the whole point is I had to do it. So I'm sure if someone walked in, they would have had a stroke, because I'm in a church, like talking like Pinhead or whatever. But so you got that cool scene. Then they're chasing, the main character around for the box, and that's when it gets really stupid. So you got all these scary Cenobites, which now have abilities. Okay, Camerahead can now control and blow up TVs from a distance. From a distance, I can blow up a TV. Right? She's running by a set of TVs. He shows her, and then he blows them up. So now he can magically blow shit up. Barbie, the bartender, he has a shaker
and he can shoot fire.
And he can shoot fire. But that was kind of cool though, because it wasn't like it was distance. You had to be close to do it.
Yeah.
His actual abilities were actually I'm like, that's cool, really cool. And then the shaker thing, like a bomb, that was kind of cool. What the hell did JP do? Oh, he had the piston in his head.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Someone online said that's like emulate sex because of his drive or whatever. He didn't do a damn thing. So he got one of the main characters, and they made him a Cenobite. They made piston. They made him a douchabite. Douchabite. And then the cigarette chick was even worse. Psst, I'm gonna get you. Psst, I'm like,
and then your favorite, the CD man throwing CDs.
That was stupid. Yeah, he has a CD come out of his mouth or whatever. Then he throws a CD like a knife, and I'm like, okay, really? You have all these chains and weapons and knives, and you go to CDs. I'm like, have you ever been like, a CD would break? It's so stupid. I mean, they're metal CDs maybe, but I don't know. So
I told you it's the MTV of Hellraiser.
It is actually. And then the whole time Pinhead's standing in the third one, and he's just watching all this go along. They get her trapped. They burn her some cigarettes because they can't take the box. Obviously, they can't kill her yet. It just makes that part just go stupid. Just kill her. She ain't gonna get away. They kill the cops. They kill all these other people. He shot projectiles in the bar all over the place. Made barbed wire bend. Made a barbed wire doll come off the wall. He did all this magic stuff, and then can't take a box from her. It just made no sense, like whatsoever. I'm going, really? This is it. At least you get to see Pinhead more in this one. And then they have the flashback where he fights with his old self. So you see the original, what he used to look like. That part was kind of cool. But everything between is kind of blah. I like it better now. And I would have to say it's more fun to watch than the second one. Just because the second one pisses me off so bad at the end. But explain that to me. I don't get it. So good, but so bad. And so bad it's so good. I don't get it.
I like it because you get to see Pinhead more, and Pinhead.
Yes.
They focus more on Pinhead than the other movies. So
what'd you think of Bloodline, the fourth one? That is my favorite one.
So Hellraiser Bloodline is like my second favorite to Hellraiser 3, and I've read the actual original screenplay to Hellraiser, Bloodline, and I like the movie. The director of Hellraiser Bloodline is Kevin Yeager, which most horror fans know as the guy that created the Crypt Keeper puppet and the child, Chucky from Child's Play. So there was so much interference with this movie that he decided he didn't want to have his name put on the picture. So if you actually watch the movie, it says directed by Alan Smith. That's like their way of changing it, but it's directed by Kevin Yeager. I actually read the original screenplay, and I actually like the movie version better because in the screenplay there is no outer space stuff till the very end. Like all the outer space in the future stuff is at the end. It goes from the beginning of the movie where it's the old times, and then it goes up to the space.
Which would work, but I kind of like how they tells a story about.
Yeah.
He gets captured and tells a story why don't open that room.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, Hellraiser Bloodlines like my second favorite in the franchise.
But it's so good. But yet again, that movie's so bad too. So bad it's so good. They do some stupid shit in that movie too. That movie's real. I think it's. I like how they created the box. I love how they show how they made the box. And you got Valentina Vargas, Angelique. I'm sorry, she's fine. She was also in the movie Twin Sitters with Peter and David Paul, the Barbarian Brothers. And she played a nanny or a maid in that one. Looks fine in that one too. But so you got, she's probably one of the coolest Cenobites, or that when she becomes a Cenobite, because she's already a demon. But in the beginning, when they're in the spacecraft, and he has the robot undo the,
Open the box,
and the robot blows up. He's like, he has that sound that he makes where the robot's like, oh shit. He pretty much owes oh shit in robot. So I think that's oh shit in robot. So if you want to say oh shit at work, just go or something like that. But and then the Pinhead appears but he can't leave the room. Now this motherfucker could appear anywhere at any time, but he can't leave that room. Why? He can't leave that room that they made for him. Why? Does it make any freaking sense?
Because the box is in there.
That just so he doesn't need the box to go places. He appeared at the hospital in the second one, came out of nowhere. He appeared in the attic. He appeared at the guy Dr. Starner's house, because the box, for the box. But he appears for the box, but he can go other places. Like he actually in the first one he shows up at different points in the house too, but he can't leave the spaceship room or whatever. Do they got special force fields or beams or, I just like, if you look at it now, you're like, why can't he just like teleport out of the room or whatever? And then he knows he knows what the camera is. So he knows what a camera is. Well, obviously he made camera head, so he knows what a camera is now that I think about it. But it just was kind of like, okay. But I like it because they at least don't have stupid Cenobites in it. The Cenobites are better, even though they really don't do a whole lot. But then they go back in the French, what was it? Not revolutionary. Would it be revolutionary?
Yeah, about that time
Kings and Queens and stuff like that.
Period.
Renaissance.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say revolution, Renaissance, what I meant to say. And they show how they make the box. Machant or whatever his name is. He makes the box and out of wood, puts the stencil on and stuff, which is, I'm still trying to figure out how the actual box actually works because it's wood. I don't know. I mean, I guess the toy maker had magic himself. I don't know. Then they take it to the one guy who's into black magic. He brings the demon out, which is Angelique, who's very powerful. If she's that powerful, how does Pinhead take her down? Because they say, don't stand in hell's way, and the centuries go by. She wants to go to America, and the one young guy stands in her way, and then she kills him. She's a very powerful demon. How does Pinhead take her out? So Pinhead's more powerful?
Well,
it's confusing. You don't know. It's like okay, if she's badass, she's a demon. She's older than Pinhead.
Yeah.
So she's older than Pinhead. She should be more, powers or demonic or whatever. But Pinhead just makes her when he gets mad at her and makes her a Cenobite. It was like nothing. There was no fight, no nothing. It's like okay, wardrobe change. Like it was nothing, right? But Gennard kicked his ass. It's just like, what the hell going on? So good and so bad.
See, like I said, it's one of them movies you got to turn your brain off and not think about.
What'd you think about the Cenobites of Bloodline, though? The two cops, the brothers. I can hear you. Please don't separate me from my brother.
Yeah.
And they twist their head together. That was pretty good.
And then, actually, there was only really, well, then there's the Chatter Beast.
Well, people make fun of that. The Chatter Beast, the dog. Like,
why?
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
because it's not really a dog; it's a Cenobite, but it's a dog Cenobite.
That was cool.
Well, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Then what does he give the dog to feed or whatever? Is it a body part or some of the dog comes up and eats a bird or something?
Yeah, a bird, a pigeon, or whatever.
But at least it had a good scene in it because when they're at modern times, and he's having his dream. And he dreams Angelique's in the dream. You tell me that wasn't awesome.
It's only awesome because you see her naked.
That's right.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought that was pretty good. At least you got to see him. At least he maintained his consistency through the whole movie. Pretty much until the end, until the spaceship changed or whatever. But there's so many parts that are so bad in that one. Like, he knows where you're at all times, but yet he doesn't. It's like, pick one. Either you know or you don't know. If you can see through a metal wall that you know that, the merchant's on the other side doing what he's doing, but yet you can't find him when he's running to hiding, it just like...
Or he was just toying with him. He could have just been toying with him,
Oh yeah, like when they're in the spaceship in the who is it that hides one of the
soldiers, I can't remember.
Hides or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you see him stop, and then you see him continue, and then like, oh, I'm safe now, and then he gets eaten by the dog or whatever.
Yeah, probably just messing with him.
Yeah, so good but so bad. Is it me, or is just they could in your opinion they could have done, if they would have been more clear about the process about the box, his abilities, would that made it a better movie? Would that elevated Pinhead to a status of Freddy Krueger or Jason or even Leatherface? Because I think he's better than Leatherface. I just think the Leatherface movies and those movies are better as a franchise. Because we all know what happens after the Bloodline movies for Hellraiser.
Yeah, they
get worse.
Yeah, they get worse.
Even the Chucky movies aren't that bad. Well, Seed of Chucky's really bad, but
yeah, that
was terrible. But I think there would have been more clarification as far as his abilities. But I'm telling you, I don't know if they're drinking when they make these movies, and towards the end they go, "What the fuck? I don't know." And Bloodline, and then what's the one after Bloodline? I tried watching that.
Oh, that one's Inferno.
I was so excited for that. I'm like, oh, another one, and I'm like, where's Pinhead? Is there a Pinhead in here?
Yeah, the last 5 minutes.
He's like, yeah, the whole time. It was so boring. I think I watched it once.
Yeah, you don't need to watch it again.
It was so bad. I don't get it.
In fact, it was so bad that in the sixth Hellraiser movie, which is Hellseeker, has the return of Kirsty there.
Kirsty.
And Pinhead's only in about 5 minutes again.
Yeah, they need to stop that. I don't know if the guy, he's getting paid. We went to Atlanta, and on the way back from Atlanta, we were obviously needed something to keep us awake, so we were looking up what the net worth of all the stars were. Kane Hodder, Doug Bradley, because I drove there specifically for Doug Bradley, and then didn't realize that he's going to be in 2 other conventions that I possibly will be at. So therefore, I could have just not drove to Atlanta, which is 12 hours one way, and I did it in the weekend. So, but yeah, 14 million. That's what's on the internet. That's crazy. So we're looking up how much each purchase is worth. But I tell you what, he is the nicest guy when you meet him. He has a ton of pictures to pick from, and I wanted to pick the picture of him at the altar from the 3rd movie. But there's something that when the pictures were printed, there was something on the picture that I didn't like. It was like a glare, like a smudge. And I when I pick a picture, I never pick the top picture. Because at conventions, I've seen what people drop water. They have a water bottle and it's, the condensation. I saw that appear at Dante's table in Detroit. Someone actually dripped water on there. I'm like, be respectful. These are their pictures. Don't spit on them. Don't like fingerprint them up. So I never take the top picture. So I went through a few pictures and all had this glare. I think it's just something from when they shot the picture when they were producing or whatever. So it kind of made me not want the picture. So I ended up with, that one right there, of him just holding the box. It was only $40. And I said, well, how much for a picture? He said, oh, nope, it was free. So free picture, which is really cool and really awesome that a celebrity doesn't charge more. I mean, he's already got his money. It's really nice that he didn't overcharge. Like Kane Hodder, you're paying $40 for a picture, $40 for an autograph. You're paying $80 if you want both. Now, you don't like the fact that he has his mask on, which I don't either in that picture, but it was a free picture, which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and it's Pinhead. I sent it to my sister. She's a big Hellraiser fan, and she knew right away by those eyes. I think the text I got back was, fucker. Because she goes, I knew the eyes right away. It was Doug Bradley. So, and he's going to be in Days of the Dead Las Vegas in February. And I'm really trying to talk you into going. But she won't because you don't want to fly. But the whole cast is going to be there. Well, not the whole cast, but they didn't Heather Langenkamp's not going to be there. Or not Hellraiser Camp.
Ashley
Lawrence. Wrong movie. Stop that. Strike that. Rewind.
Yeah. Wrong franchise.
Wrong franchise. Well, it's because I just hooked up her autograph like 5 minutes ago. She's not going to be there yet, but you got Kirsty's dad. You got all the original Cenobites, which is really cool because I really want to meet Barbie Wild. But you got the original Cenobites, Kirsty's dad. I was hoping they get Julia and Frank. It'd be cool because they got the autograph, but it'd be cool to meet them. Let's see how many more they get. But I will fly to Vegas for that one because that's the only franchise that I really don't have. Well, I don't have a whole lot of Nightmare on Elm Street autographs either, but do you?
Just Robert Englund, Mark Patton, and Heather Langenkamp. Those are the only really 3 that I actually care to get. Unless, like Patricia Arquette came, I'd get her. But other than that, there ain't really nobody else I'd want.
Yeah, besides Flashback, they haven't been around. It's been Halloween, it's been Friday the 13th, mostly in oddball ones. But and then Flashback had them, which I probably would have been stupid and got every autograph for my a Nightmare on Elm Street 4 poster, but Hellraiser I don't have yet. So yeah, I mean, I have their autographs I bought off of Doug Bradley's website, and all the Cenobites had signed it. So that's cool for a good price. It was $120 for all 4 autographs, which is cool, and they're legit autographs. So because I inspected his autograph from Atlanta to the autograph I got online, just to make sure that it looked the same. Not that I didn't trust him. I just was curious if they had paid someone to sign for him. If they really do, I believe they really sign stuff. So, but I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. I don't know.
And then you have the Hellraiser remake that's going to have a female Pinhead.
How do you feel about that one?
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
To be honest,
Yeah.
If you were going to continue off the previous Hellraiser movies, I would rather have Doug Bradley. Because obviously there's 2 Hellraiser movies that doesn't have Doug Bradley as Pinhead, and one of them you can tell is really low budget and looks like crap. The second Hellraiser movie that doesn't have Doug Bradley in it, which is Hellraiser Judgment, the guy that they had to play Pinhead kind of reminds me of Doug Bradley, so I was okay with that one. But yeah, the remake, I'm okay with a female Pinhead.
It's just that Doug Bradley's so loved. It's like if you had not having Robert Englund in a movie, or I guess Michael Myers and Jason's been so many damn people at this point, it doesn't matter. But
it don't matter. But
you want Doug Bradley, but I think they're going to do good with female. Here's the thing, though. You know what? It's okay to be a female Cenobite, to be a female Pinhead, because she's going to be pissed off all the time because she's already bloody. So she's already on her monthly every day. She's going to do some damage.
So, yeah.
She's going to be mean. She's going to be vicious. I'm just joking. I should have never said that. But she's going to be, I think she's going to be there to make her vicious. They're going to have to, because Halloween, we talk about this all the time. Since Halloween did the last 3 the movies, James U. Courtney came out, they made Michael Myers badass. So the rumors of Friday the 13th coming out, they're going to have to step it up. They're going to have to. If they do, someone said Rob Zombie should remake all these movies.
Honestly, Rob Zombie just needs to make his own movies and just keep...
Because they're all the same at this point.
Yeah, I don't want to see a white trash Jason movie or,
It'd be at a trailer park. It wouldn't be at Camp Crystal Lake. It'd be at a trailer park.
Yeah. He's
killing, ding, 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 ding.
Killing people at a trailer park.
I could see him doing a Hellraiser movie, but thank God they're already planning and already doing their thing. But a female character... So who would be are they going to bring back the original Cenobites, or are they going to make new ones? So instead of a female Cenobite as the second, at the right hand, would that be a male Cenobite?
Probably.
That'd be cool to reverse the roles a little bit. I'd like to see some more work with the chains. Like is more of the how they tear souls apart. I think. I hope they open with the fact that. I hope they open with the opening scene. They show Pinhead being made, because they didn't do that till the 3rd one.
No.
Well, they have flashbacks
at the beginning of the second one.
But it was small. I really want them to see them, like the opening credits, them really torturing and making Pinhead the whole way. Okay. Would be cool. If they torture the shit out of her and make her Pinhead, and then how the other ones are, constructed. Maybe that'd be kind of cool. They should see how the little boy became. Which one was the little boy? Chatterer was a little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how they goes from a little boy to a giant person
or full grown man.
Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense. Like, see, another bad. So good it's bad. And where did the chains come from? Where did the chains come from? They have to be attached to something. Hell's from down low. They always come from up high. So is God giving them chains to kill people? I'm like, is right? Where do these chains come from?
You're looking into it too much.
I'm telling you, so bad it's so good. I don't know. We just had to get this Hellraiser weird, goofy thing off for.
Well, okay. Did you know that after Freddy versus Jason, there was going to be a Pinhead versus Michael Myers movie called Halloween?
That'd have been cool because Pinhead would have tore him up. With Pinhead's chains and stuff. He would have that would have made no sense because all that Pinhead had to do is just shoot his chains at him, get him on the pillar and then just wrap him up. Michael Myers would never get through that.
But Michael Myers is supposed to be supernatural too, so
yeah, but he can't get through. If you chain him up with stuff, he's not gonna. None of them. Voorhees wouldn't even do that.
That's probably why it was never made because they probably couldn't decide how it was going to work.
Because you want Michael Myers to be powerful, but you're talking two different entities. You're talking a demonic demon versus someone who has just been a killer. I guess he is demonic himself, but it's not quite the same as a pure demon.
Yeah.
Of Hellraiser. So how would you couldn't make that? Because Pinhead should win against everybody for the most part. Because you can't kill Pinhead. Obviously, you can come back at this point.
Well,
unless you're Chenard, and then you can kill anybody except even yourself. Chenard killed himself. So
there's a book called Taking Shape 2, and it tells like all the
I gotta buy that.
All the unmade Halloween sequels, and the next chapter that I'm going to be is the Pinhead versus Michael movie. So I'll let you know how that goes.
I'd rather see Jason versus Michael. It'd be more of a good fight.
Yeah.
And Michael would win that one. Or not, Michael would lose that one. Jason's just too strong. And Jason's more demonic than Michael is. Michael wasn't demonic until the last three movies.
I think that would be one of the movies where I would like to see like a draw, like they're literally beating the crap out of each other, and then the final girl or final guy, both of them just kind of defeat both of them, and it just kind of ends in a draw.
You'd have to, because
I would be okay with that. Like the Freddy versus Jason one, I so wanted Jason to kick Freddy's ass. So
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So. And, that one kind of ended kind of in a draw, too, I guess, the way you look at it. But, yeah.
I like that movie.
Michael and Jason,
I really liked Freddy versus
I would
Jason.
like to see it as a draw.
That's a good popcorn movie, Freddy versus Jason. But, yeah, Pinhead should be able to take them all. Maybe Jeepers Creepers guy, maybe not. But you'd have to get in some demonic souls to theoretically take up Pinhead. We all know when it comes down to a pure fight that they make Pinhead a puss, but
yeah, you just
I'm sorry, Doug Bradley. I love you, but
all you gotta do is hold a picture of him as a human in front of him.
And he gets all soft.
Yeah, okay.
I once was a boy, and I remember.
Yeah,
I remember because Barbie's going after him. That's what. Female sent it by Barbie Wild. She takes that first step with her knife to come after him. He's like, wait, I remember. And then Schnarr comes in and is like, get out of here, little man. And we'll kick some ass. Yeah, so bad. So good, but so bad. I hope when the new movie comes out, they clarify. Because if you have the box and you can't be taken, make it clarify. Don't be one way or the other. Because it's like back and forth about what you can and can't do with the damn box. Have a clear, decisive, and I'm not talking books. I know they explain more comics. But I'm talking if you're watching from a movie perspective, some clarification, because the movie should have been Friday 13th, Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street, or Hellraiser would be the fourth one. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre and some of those others are better just because we all know how bad Hellraiser got. I'll give you $1 million. You want to appear in this movie for 2 minutes? Okay. I would do it too.
No, it has nothing to do with Hellraiser. We're just going to write Pinhead in it. Most of them are all cop stories.
Yeah, the new Scream movie comes out, and what's Pinhead? Oh, he's just walking down the street. It's okay. Don't mind him. That makes some stupid thing where Ghostface gets away from kills Pinhead or something, or some dumb thing like that. It's like, get out of here. Now that I would pay to see. Pinhead gonna go into town on Ghostface.
Oh God,
that'd be so great. because he has all that cloth, and every time he shoots his little hooks, it hits his cloth and misses Ghostface, so he keeps missing.
So he looks like a marionette when he's done.
Dun, dun, yeah. So if he doesn't actually kill him, that'd be something funny. But please don't ever do that. Don't do that. But anyway, that's our ramble about the bad, the good, and the ugly, and the okay, and the all fucked up world of Hellraiser. So until next time,
Stay bloody.